There is something no one really tells men. It's this silent pressure, this unspoken expectation that when you walk into the bedroom, your worth as a man is being weighed, judged, and measured. And for so many men, that pressure doesn't just stay in the bedroom. It bleeds into how you see yourself, how you show up in relationships, and even how much confidence you carry in the world. But here's the truth most men don't realize. It's not always about size, stamina, or some Hollywood performance. What makes a man unforgettable in the bedroom isn't what most guys think. It's not the things you've been taught to chase. It's not about ego. It's about presence. It's about what a woman feels when she's with you, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Because when a man learns how to turn intimacy into connection, when he learns how to make a woman feel safe, seen, and desired, he becomes more than just another guy she's been with. He becomes the man she can't forget. And today, I want to speak to men who are tired of the surface level games, men who want to understand what it truly means to be powerful where it matters most. Let me show you the things men do in the bedroom that make them the most magnetic, the most desired, and the most respected, not just by women, but by themselves. When it comes to intimacy, most men are worried about performance. They're thinking about what move to try next, how long they'll last, or whether they're good enough compared to the last guy. And in that anxiety, they miss the single most powerful thing a man can bring into the bedroom: presence. Presence is not about tricks or techniques. Presence is about you. It's about being fully there, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in the moment with the woman in front of you. Think about when was the last time you were with someone and you knew their mind was somewhere else? They were physically in the room, but you could feel their distance. That's how a lot of women feel with men in the bedroom. They feel like he's chasing a performance, not a connection. But the man who learns presence, he changes everything. He slows down, he notices. He breathes with her. He doesn't rush to the end like intimacy is a finish line. He understands that the magic is in the journey, not the race. And that energy, that calm assurance, tells a woman, you are safe here. I am with you fully. You don't have to be anyone else. You don't have to perform either. When a woman feels this kind of presence, something extraordinary happens. Her guard drops. Her body responds in ways you can't force. Her trust deepens. Intimacy transforms from an act into an experience. Gentlemen, hear me, presence is power. Not the power of domination, not the power of ego, but the power of connection. And it's rare. Because most men are too distracted, too anxious, too focused on themselves to give it. But when you do, when you become that man who is grounded, who looks into her eyes, who listens, who notices, suddenly you're not just another man she's been with. You're the man she remembers. And presence doesn't end in the bedroom. A man who can be fully present there learns how to be fully present in life, with his work, with his family, with his own mission. The bedroom is just the training ground. Presence makes you magnetic everywhere you go. Most men have been taught that intimacy is about doing more, doing faster, doing harder. But here's the truth. The men who make the deepest impact in the bedroom aren't the ones doing the most. They're the ones who are listening the most. Now, when I say listening, I don't just mean hearing her voice when she says, yes, or stop. I mean listening beyond words. Because a woman's body has a language all its own. And if you pay attention, it will tell you everything you need to know. Her breathing shifts. Her muscles tense or relax. Her heartbeat changes. Sometimes her silence is louder than her words. A man who is truly tuned and doesn't miss these signals. He feels them, he adjusts to them, and he allows intimacy to flow like a dance, not a routine. And here's why this matters. When a woman feels like you're paying attention to her, really paying attention, she feels cherished. She feels honored. She feels like she doesn't have to fake anything, doesn't have to rush, doesn't have to play a role, because you're not trying to control the moment. You're allowing the moment to speak to you. Think about how rare this is. Most men are in their heads. Am I doing it right? Is she enjoying this? What should I try next? But the high-value man quiets all of that. He understands that the bedroom is not a performance, it's a conversation. And the best conversations are never one-sided. When you learn to listen beyond words, you discover something powerful women will open up more deeply with you. They will trust you with their vulnerabilities because they know you won't miss the details. They know you're not just there for yourself, you're there for them too. And here's the secret: this kind of listening isn't just about intimacy. It's a skill that spills over into your entire life. A man who listens deeply in the bedroom will listen deeply in relationships, in business, in friendships. People will feel it. They'll feel seen. And that is what makes a man unforgettable. So remember this: the strongest men are not the loudest. They are the most attentive. Because listening, my friend, is an act of love, confidence. Every man wants it. Every woman desires it. But let's be honest, most men confuse confidence with ego. They think confidence is about showing off, talking big, or proving themselves. But the truth is, ego is loud, while real confidence is quiet. Ego pushes people away, but true confidence draws people closer. When a man walks into the bedroom with ego, the energy is all about him. He wants to prove something, prove his stamina, prove his skill, prove he's the best she's ever had. But here's the problem: ego makes intimacy a performance. And women can feel it. They can feel when you're more focused on your own validation than on the connection. But a confident man doesn't need to prove anything. He doesn't enter the bedroom with fear or pressure. He enters with ease. He's comfortable in his own skin. He's comfortable with silence. And he's comfortable with vulnerability. He knows that confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about being grounded enough to flow with the moment. Think about it. When a man is confident, his presence is calming. His touch is steady. His energy is secure. She feels safe to let go because she knows you're not frantic, not desperate, not hiding behind ego. And safety, my friend, is the foundation of unforgettable intimacy. This kind of confidence comes from self-respect. It comes from knowing who you are outside of the bedroom. It comes from building your purpose, living your values, and refusing to measure yourself against every other man. When you stop competing and start being, you step into the kind of confidence women crave. And here's the secret: women don't remember the guy who bragged, who tried to show off, who acted like he was God's gift. They remember the man who was grounded, authentic, and secure. They remember the man who didn't need to be the loudest in the room because his quiet strength said it all. Confidence without ego is magnetic. It doesn't just transform intimacy. It transforms your life, because the same grounded energy that makes you unforgettable in the bedroom is the same energy that makes you respected in the world. So don't chase ego. Build confidence, because one lasts for a night, but the other lasts a lifetime. Here's the truth: most men don't want to hear the bedroom doesn't start in the bedroom. Real intimacy begins long before the lights go out. And the men who are the most unforgettable lovers are not the ones with the flashiest moves, but the ones who know how to build an emotional connection first. Why? Because a woman's heart and mind are the doorway to her body. When she feels emotionally disconnected, intimacy feels empty. She may go along with it, but deep down she won't feel safe. She won't feel seen. And without that sense of connection, no amount of physical effort can make the experience truly fulfilling. But when a man knows how to connect with her heart, when he looks her in the eye, listens to her dreams, respects her fears, and makes her feel like she matters, he creates something powerful: trust. And trust is the soil where passion grows. Think about it. You don't have to be the richest man, the most handsome, or the smoothest talker. What makes you stand out is your ability to create a space where she feels emotionally secure. That's when she opens up. That's when she gives herself freely, without hesitation. That's when intimacy becomes electric. Too many men make the mistake of thinking, if I just get her into bed, I'll prove myself. But high-value men know the opposite is true. If I build a genuine emotional bond, the bedroom will take care of itself. And this doesn't mean weakness. It doesn't mean being overly needy or losing your masculine frame. Emotional connection is not about giving up your strength. It's about sharing it. It's about showing her that beneath your power, there's also depth. That beneath your confidence, there's also compassion. A man who connects emotionally is unforgettable because he gives a woman something rare, the freedom to be herself. No masks, no games, Just real, raw human connection. And once she experiences that with you, no other man can compare. So remember this, intimacy begins outside the bedroom. If you want to be the man she never forgets, don't just touch her body, touch her soul first. One of the greatest mistakes men make in intimacy is rushing. Too many men treat the bedroom like a race, a sprint to the finish line, when in reality, the most powerful intimacy happens when you learn to slow down and respect her pace. You see, women are not light switches. They don't always turn on instantly. For many women, intimacy is like a dimmer, gradual, layered, unfolding with trust and time. And when a man doesn't understand this, when he tries to push too fast or demand too much, she doesn't feel desired, she feels pressured. And pressure kills intimacy. But the man who respects her pace communicates something much deeper than desire. He communicates value. He's saying, "You are worth the wait. Your comfort matters to me. I'm not here just for what I can take. I'm here for what we can share." That kind of patience doesn't weaken your masculinity. It amplifies it, because only a truly strong man can be patient. Only a secure man can resist the urge to rush. Think about it. When you slow down, when you give her space to breathe, to trust, to open up in her own rhythm, you create an environment where she feels safe. And safety is the foundation of passion. When a woman feels safe, her body responds, her mind relaxes, her heart engages. And the intimacy you experience becomes something she remembers for the rest of her life. Respecting her pace doesn't just mean slowing down in the physical act. It means respecting the entire journey. Her emotions, her boundaries, her readiness. Some nights she may want closeness without pressure. Some days she may need to feel heard before she can feel touched. A high-value man recognizes this. He doesn't take it as rejection. He takes it as an opportunity to lead with patience and strength. And here's the beauty of it. When you honor her timing, she will honor you with trust, passion, and devotion that no amount of rushing could ever buy. So, gentlemen, remember this: going slow doesn't mean losing. It means winning on a deeper level. Because a woman never forgets the man who made her feel valued, respected, and safe enough to bloom in her own time. If there is one quality that separates unforgettable men from the rest, it is this: they understand that intimacy is not about taking. It is about giving just as much as receiving. Too many men enter the bedroom with a mindset of self-gratification. Their focus is on their release, their pleasure, their satisfaction. And while intimacy should absolutely be enjoyable for both, when a man makes it one-sided, it leaves the woman feeling used instead of cherished. But the man who gives, he changes everything. He understands that intimacy is a shared experience, not a transaction. He takes the time to explore, to notice, to give pleasure without keeping score. And when a woman feels that, when she feels that her enjoyment matters as much as his, she doesn't just feel satisfied, she feels treasured. Here's the truth: giving doesn't weaken you. It doesn't take away from your masculinity. In fact, it elevates it. Because a man who gives without fear, without hesitation, without insecurity, communicates strength. He's not worried about whether he's doing too much. He's not afraid that his generosity will make him less of a man. He knows that the more he gives, the more trust, passion, and connection he receives in return. And giving doesn't only mean physically. It means giving attention, giving reassurance, giving presence, giving patience. When you meet a woman not just with desire, but with generosity, you create an intimacy that goes beyond the physical. You create devotion, you create loyalty. Think about this: anyone can take. It requires nothing. But it takes a high-value man to give without fear, to love without keeping score, to step into intimacy with the intention of leaving her better than he found her. And when you do that, she will not only remember you, she will long for you, because giving builds a bond that can't be replaced. So, men, if you want to be truly unforgettable, stop focusing only on what you can get. Start focusing on what you can give. Because in the end, the men who give the most receive far more than they ever imagined.